Well, the Federal Communications Commission is the nation's top watchdog over the broadcast industry. So who runs the FCC and what exactly does it do? The FCC was created back in 1934. A chairman is appointed by the president. The commission is directly involved in overseeing broadcast media, including developing and enforcing rules. It also promotes competition and aims to protect consumers by enforcing communication laws. NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris joins me now. Misty, the big question here, I think, on a lot of people's minds is the question of free speech. Is there a First Amendment challenge here legally?
So there certainly could be. The FCC regulates and provides licenses to these affiliate networks. So you have ABC, and their content is brought to the people through all of these local affiliates. Chloe just laid out many of them owned by Nexstar. So the argument is that these threats to revoke licenses, to investigate and take measures with regulation of those affiliates is thinly veiled business pressure for the purpose of stifling protected speech. Remember, the First Amendment applies to the government stifling the lawful exercise of First Amendment rights. So that's how that argument could play out when it comes to these affiliate networks and the networks in general.
I hear you talking about, I hear a lot of cross currents colliding at once. There's the business decision, there's the cultural moment we're in, and now there's the question of legal recourse. If you were Kimmel's lawyer, what recourse would you tell him he has?
As far as Kimmel is concerned, what needs to be flagged is that the First Amendment does not apply to a private corporation. So his challenge is not going to be based on First Amendment grounds. It's going to be all about his contract. What does that say when it comes to right now, what's a suspension, if it comes to a termination, whatever comes down the road? Those contractual obligations between the network and Kimmel are going to rule the day. So no doubt, he is not a little fish in this industry. His show has been on for 2 decades. He probably has some provisions in his contract that speaks to when he can be pulled off the air and what can happen as far as his particular content in that show. But at the end of the day, the First Amendment is not going to be the legal argument that he'll be pursuing. It'll be all about the contract.
And that contract you're talking about, I mean, for a lot of us in this business, there's typically what's called like a good behavior clause. So basically, if you do something that reflects poorly on the company, then the company has the right to pull you off air. I think the question for Kimmel would be, are you now kicking that can down the road? Are you continuously changing what the metric and standard of good behavior is? Is that the question?
Yes. So when you're talking about any action taken against, to your point, somebody, a host of the show, it's going to be spelled out when you can do that. The cause. What cause is the basis for termination or the basis for even the suspension? What creative control does he have? So all of that is going to be spelled out in those contracts.
Misty Marris, it is always a pleasure to have you here, and I love learning from you. Thank you so much.